Oh, what's up, gamers? Thought I would leave you hanging, did you? Well, I figured I should do something with the only part of RNG that mattered, the games. To hell with all the other noise. So, from here on out, instead of random news of gaming, RNG will now be Random New Games. And this video will essentially be a little showcase of its own, but instead of the mind-numbing waste of time that was my old format, here's what I'll do instead. I'll go through all the games that released in the last month, pick out 10 of them, and create a little top 10 out of what I think are the best looking games that came out, with some honorable mentions. Rating games I haven't played? Yeah, why not? It'll be fun. What could possibly go wrong? I'll still have a list of every game I find in the description, but this time, I actually have them sorted by genre. As you can see, this will make it much easier to find a certain type of game you like, and all you gotta do is search it up. But before we get into it, I want to talk about something for a little bit. Yeah, I can't help it, but it has to do with the showcases. First, instead of pointing you to each showcase like I used to, I'll just give up my guide here, Game Conference Guide. Click on the Showcases button. From here, you can see every official showcase, and you can narrow it down by month to find specific ones. So yeah, this is what I've been using to find all of these, and now, I don't have to edit it into the videos. Yay! Second, I wanted to talk about Gamescom because we went over almost everything worth looking at on stream, and it was fun. Well, sort of. Some of it was painful, not gonna lie. The two major events you want to look at are the opening night live, which you've probably already seen if you were interested in Gamescom at all, and the Future Games Show, which is the show you should be watching if you're like me and shit on the AAA nonsense that gets promoted at high-budget shows like Jeff's. Seriously, listen to me. Go watch Future Games Show if you think the entire gaming industry sucks. Maybe it'll give you a little perspective. Only issue I had with it, besides the cringe, was the fact that I had seen most of the games shown off there, but that's just me who goes through all of these things all the time. Alongside Future Games Show, which is generally pretty good whenever it pops up, you'll see other showcases that can introduce you to tons of new stuff. The Mix Showcase, which is hit or miss, usually miss. Nintendo Indie World. Generally the worst indie showcases if you ask me, but it's the one you'll want if you're a Nintendo console peasant. 6-1 Indie Showcase, which I forget if that one's good or bad. The PC Gaming Show, which is cringe as all hell, but they tend to get a ton of cool games featured on there. And the Best Indie Game Showcase, which is generally the best one of them all by a long shot. If you think you have nothing to play, go look this showcase up, and check out the channel. I'll have a link in the description. The next one coming up is the Best Indie Fall Game Showcase in September, so keep an eye out for that. Alright, with all that out of the way, time for the main point of this video. Here's how this is going to work. Out of all the games I know of releasing in August, I'm going to pick 10 of them, and spend about 1 minute on each, and maybe throw in an unspecified amount of honorable mentions. And I'll pick them based on several things. Overall review score. The higher the better, and if not higher, does it have potential to improve? Innovation. Does the game look unique or entirely derivative? Presentation. Does it look like a quality product and not a cheap asset flip? Indie ratio. Does it look like a step above what you'd expect out of a smaller team in terms of quality? Establishment ratio. If made by a larger team, a well-known or AAA studio, does it look like it lives up to the prestige? If not, I'll yeet it from the list entirely, you fucks. Drama penalty. Are the devs engaging in slap fights with their fans or trying to pull some anti-consumer behavior? Maybe I'll be inclined to penalize them or remove them from the list entirely. Who knows? And of course, personal bias. Does it look enjoyable to me? And do I think it would look enjoyable to you, the gamers? All of this I will take into consideration when rating, and I'll do my best to be fair regardless of how subjective this really is at the end of the day. And by the way, like I had been doing in previous RNG videos, it's all games from the past month. I will not showcase games that you cannot buy and play right now. Period. No previews, no hype building, no misdirection, just games. Also, if you watched my other RNG videos, you probably noticed these little icons in the corner while presenting some of the games. These are here too, and I'll explain those. Most of them are self-explanatory. This one is for remakes and remasters. This one is early access launch, and this one is out of early access. I generally recommend not to buy games in early access and wait for the full release, but I will include a list of games that come out in early access in its own section of the list in the description. 18 plus is for adult games. Yes, I will promote actual porn games if I think they look good enough. As games. I can't rate it based on how good the porn is. Too subjective. And that's not what this channel is about. I've mentioned this before, but I also don't promote visual novels and games with minimal gameplay because it's impossible for me to know how good something is if it's entirely story-centric. But I may start including them as well since I can just throw them on the list, and you can look them up if you're into that. Only problem is I don't know of any way to even find upcoming visual novels. Sound off in the comments if you do. Anyway, little tangent out of the way. These Denuvo and DRM icons are for games with those pesky little anti-piracy and anti-cheat malware programs. If a game has these, be aware when you buy because they have access to your computer as if they own it, which can potentially cause security risks or performance issues. Sometimes these get removed after launch, but only for single-player games. The censored icon is self-explanatory. I use this when talking about a game that is confirmed to be censored, while this icon is used when there are credible accusations of censorship by the fans, or inaccurate localization choices. I have an icon for each platform the games are released on too. Keep in mind this may only cover platforms the game is out on right now. If you want to find one that comes out on a platform later on, you'll have to look it up. Since my main resource for keeping track of games is Steam, almost every game will have the Steam tag, if not the Steam only tag, meaning I could only find the game on Steam and nowhere else, unfortunately more common than you may think. This is for Mac, obviously. The little penguin guy is Linux. If the game has a Mac or Linux version, its availability may depend on which storefront you get it from. For some, I've seen no indication that games work on Mac or Linux on Steam, but they do on itch.io, which is this little controller with the booth icon. Itch.io is a storefront where a lot of small, free games or demos start out, worth looking into if you've never done that before. This one is Good Old Games, or GOG, or GOG. GOG sounds terrible, so I never say that. It's a storefront like Steam that features only DRM-free games that you can download and store installers of offline. Basically, actual digital ownership, so if a game is released day one on that store, it's a sign the devs are potentially very pro-consumer. There are more stores like DLSite and Jest, and some others I'm probably forgetting, and I'll make icons for them as needed. Except the Epic Games Store. Fuck the Epic Games Store. Unless you guys ask for it. I might make other icons if people ask for it too, like I am considering making a Made in China tag, since Chinese games sometimes get censored after launch. Wu Chang. But I'll only make it if it's requested. Sound off in the comments if you have any ideas on how I can improve this format. The goal is to make things as quick, easy, and informative as possible. Lastly, the Steam Curator. I will still be adding games to the curator that are featured in this video, but only the top 10 and the honorable mentions, not everything in the list. That way I'm not cluttering it up with hundreds of games that no one's going to play. I think that covers everything. In future videos I won't be going over all of this, so we can get right into it. Check back here if for some reason you need a refresher on how everything works, but it's all fairly simple anyway. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much and cause everyone to click off the video. You didn't click off the video, right? Because we're getting into the honorable mentions right now. Turret Girls on August 25th, a third-person rail shooter inspired by Senran Kagura with clothing break mechanics? I can get behind that. Absolutely. Mafia the Old Country on August 7th. A bit of a contentious entry based on what I've heard from fans, but man, this game is beautiful to look at. Really brings old Italy to life. If you get it on sale, you might find it worthwhile.
I wanted to live. To belong. To be somebody.
Little Witch Survivors on August 22nd. Vampire Survivors clone, but this time, you're cute little witchies. Can't help but chat, I'm a sucker for the cute ones, and Vampire Survivors likes, so here it is. Quartet on August 26th, another one to join the fold of indie pixel art JRPG modern classics. Why will this one be remembered? It has a hippo as a main character. What else do I need to mention? Artist Impact on August 7th. It's pixel art, but like, modern art? I don't know. Well, what I do know is that you get to fight those damn clankers, so that's a positive, right? Is that offensive on YouTube now? If it is, then maybe these games are right about them, just saying. As a final honorable mention, we have the lewd spotlight. Each one of these videos will have at least one of these, as long as there's one available that's worthy of talking about. For August, we have NTR Idol, Promise of Dreams on August 23rd. This is a very lewd game where you hire an idol and you get to, well, you know. But the main reason I'm highlighting this one is because it was pulled from Steam without notice a few months before launch. As of August 23rd, you can get it on DL site instead, which I think is the only place it's available. Now, on to the top 10. What if you were the villain in a 2D Souls-inspired game? Take up the mantle as the Dark Queen of Mortholm to do just that. You got a little pesky hero problem that you gotta stamp out multiple times. They keep coming back for some reason, because you are their final boss and it's your job to kill them. Or is it? Apparently this game has some twists and turns in the story, on top of the hero AI getting better each time they come back. A very interesting concept, isn't it? Concept alone doesn't a good game make though, so reviewers have cited issues with its value, but it's still available for free on itch.io if you're skeptical. Dead Zone Rogue. I saw this game in action via a group stream and man, it looks really fun. It's a roguelike shooter where you and some friends can clear out some rooms of robotic enemies, getting random upgrades along the way, and taking down a boss every 10 rooms or so. There seems to be a background story that you get tidbits of every now and then, but are you really going to be paying attention while you're yelling at your friends for making you fail a run the whole time? You know how it is. So, normally I don't promote visual novels or strictly story-based games because I can't really gauge whether or not they're good. Like, there's no way to actually know without playing it. But Three Wishes has some game mechanics at least. Head pat mechanics. You can literally just head pat any of these characters at any time. Yeah, this is based, and definitely unique. Just be aware this is one of those deceptive kind of super adorable anime games that's more serious than it lets on. It is a visual novel though, so I probably won't play it. I may have a suspicion of who funded it though. Altheia, The Wrath of Aferi is an action RPG, a puzzle game, and maybe a bit of a 3D platformer? It looks like it has a lot going for it, and I really like the art style. Yeah, I can't help but mention that you are playing as a white girl with her furry boyfriend who can turn into animals. Sorry, the jokes write themselves. Anyway, it looks really fun. Though combat looks a bit iffy to me, but I am forgiving if the puzzles and world design are nice. I am a sucker for games with heavy metal themes, so Metavoidal caught my eye right away, and unlike other music games that use these genres, you play as the drummer. Oh yeah, time to go nuts and blast beat the shit out of everyone. Apparently this game has tons of music made just for this game as well, and from what I've heard in the trailer, it's pretty good. Brings me back to the mid-2000s era a little. I'm here for it. Journey of Realm Dawn Du is a Chinese game that I didn't see promoted anywhere. and I just happened to stumble across it in a Discord server. And my first impression of it was, what if Ender Lilies had a turn-based battle system like how Child of Light did, or that Monster Sanctuary I recently played? It looks beautiful, and the protagonist is super cute, so, of course, it caught my eye immediately. And what also caught my eye was the shockingly high 98% positive review score on Steam, which is not a rating you see very often once it gets past a certain threshold. Shield Knight got her own game. Wait, no, this is Knightling, a 3D platformer with shield-busting combat and very colorful worlds to run around in. Use your shield as an umbrella for gliding, or use it to surf around. What more can you ask for? An open world? Oh yeah, it has that too. I think this 3D platformer might have been made for me, just saying.
The Knightling.
It never ceases to amaze me that people make games for old systems from the 90s and early 2000s now. Case in point, Shantae Advance Risky Revolution. This was originally supposed to be on the Game Boy Advance during that system's lifespan. Now, in 2025, it finally got its GBA release back in April, which had some concerns among the people who bought it. We're talking about it now because it's also available on PC and for every modern console, including last gen. And man, does it look great. If you played other games in the series, you know what to expect. It's a platformer with Metroidvania elements, and one of her abilities being able to turn into a cute little monkey. Yeah, I need to get caught up on this series. Now, if only I could buy it without any of my money going to limited run games. I liked Journey. I liked Flower. I liked Abzu. Flow is okay, I guess. I haven't played the Pathless yet, but I'd like to eventually. But Sword of the Sea looks like it could be their best game yet, and by quite a large margin. I just love the aesthetic. The way you get to surf on your sword-like thing and move around super fast and smooth, like, man, it just looks so satisfying to play. And you even get to do stunts. Who needs censored Tony Hawk remakes anyway? Easiest entry. The girl from Arkanya is a 2D Zelda clone, and it's cute, and I want it. You play as this cute girl Marisa, and you have a cute capybara partner throughout the game because why not? There's really not much else to say here, pretty upfront about what kind of game you're getting into. The game did blow past its Kickstarter goals, so expect to see some content added after launch. Unless they already did it and I don't know yet. I do want to mention that the order of this top 10 isn't really that important because, like I said earlier, I haven't played any of these games. This is just the one that looks like I would like it the most. Don't forget to let me know which game you liked best in the comments.
For the Marajoran tribe, with cool powers to control nature.
Oh, hi there. Nice to meet you.
But she's been kidnapped by the evil necromancer Zolatl.
Wait, what?
Marissa! Now it's up to me to rescue her. And make some money while I'm doing it, yeah? But Amazonia is a pretty big place. So I've teamed up with a talking capybara.
Thought it was over? Think again. Before the outro of every video, unless I forget because I'm a boomer, I'm gonna recommend a random album. Why? because I love music. Simple as. And I don't really have any other way to incorporate it into my videos without getting copyright claimed. So here we go. Today's random album is Crack the Sky by Mastodon, a not so random choice as the former guitarist Brett Hines passed away recently, so it's been on my mind. Go check the album out, it's awesome. There you have it folks, that wraps up my first random new games video. I'm going to keep the number though, this is RNG number 36, just to make it easier to keep track of. Please understand. I know I said I would bring back this series, and this seems like the best way to do it, but I want to know what you guys think. Leave a comment if you have any ideas, suggestions, and improvements, or if there was any game I missed that's worthy of including. I want to make this series into something worthwhile, so much better than just ranting about how much these companies want to fuck everything. Go watch Louis Rossman for that. Feel free to follow the Steam Curator to keep track of all the games I feature in these videos. Speaking of Steam, one thing I may do is open it up to add friends so you can all gift me games. And I know I will be inviting chaos if I do that. But not quite yet. I still need to work on IRL stuff, so I don't want to feel obligated to play anything that I receive. I'll keep you all updated on that. Don't forget to leave a like on this video if you like this new format, or a dislike if you hate every game I picked for no reason. Subscribe if you want to see more middling content. I will be playing the Trails in the Sky remake on Nightmare difficulty on stream, as well as Azure on Nightmare difficulty one of these days. So come enjoy the Trails brain rot with me when the time comes. I also host a Smash Ultimate Arena every other Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And I also do random streams of other stuff every now and then, such as showcase reactions, which there will probably be one of in September as well. You can hop in my Discord where you can poop on all the games I like, or follow me on the X-Twitter to screech into the void, or catch my content on Rumble or Odyssey, which, by the way, I do stream to Rumble alongside YouTube now sometimes, so if you want to catch me there, you can. And once I can afford it, I will stream to more platforms too. Stay tuned. Now, how am I going to close out these videos? I don't want to use my old RNG outro, it's just not fitting. I'll probably just throw a random meme up or something to thank you for watching the whole thing. Here you go.
What could that alarm be?
That bastard! He activated the emulators!